Hello everybody, I'm Panitee Karnsomdee from CONCEPTUAL University, Thailand. Today I would like to present my research paper entitled The Effects of Government Policy on Organizational Performance of Provincial Administration Organization, Mediating Roles of Public Entrepreneurship. Public entrepreneurship concept has recently established based on new public management, in which focusing on development of competitiveness to drive innovative public work process and provide excellent public service. The proactive and competitive government policy on managing public organization transforming have been determined as key success factors to support the organizational performance achievements, especially for provincial administration organization. Many transformational projects have been launched to change government policy toward public entrepreneurship. Although the influence of government policy on organizational performance is well explored, the mediating roles of public entrepreneurship in the context of provincial administration organization remain questions. The objective of this research study aims to investigate the effects of government policy on organizational performance through the mediating roles of public entrepreneurship in the context of provincial administration organization. The results of this research study will be applied as strategic guideline for local government organizations to enhance organizational performance. In terms of the literature review, for the government policy is political activities, plans, and scope or principle to be done by governments and political actors in order to recognize public issues and finally make public decisions for country development. As the challenges for public services become more complex, a concept of innovative and competitive management policy is being increasingly revisited and replaced by more adaptive and effective policies such as public entrepreneurship policy. This research study essentially focuses on the entrepreneurship policy made by the government in order to build innovative and effective public working systems in organization and finally to increase organizational performance. For public entrepreneurship, the public entrepreneurship can be defined as the activity integrated of a blend of two different managerial roles, that of a public servant, that is, that of a private entrepreneur. The managerial and administrative organizational reforms of public organization toward public entrepreneurship have been established in the public sector with critical key function to improve the organizational performance. Therefore, this research study focuses on public entrepreneurship as the mediating roles of government policy and organizational performance in provincial administration organization. In terms of organizational performance, it can be defined as the process or action of performing tasks toward ultimate result of operation. The public performance will be ultimately driven by establishing the innovative and proactive government management policy and implementing public entrepreneurship concept in public organization in order to achieve organizational desired outcome according to rapid change of the external environment. Therefore, this research study focuses on the effects of government policy on organizational performance in order to investigate the direct and indirect effects of such relationship. From the reviews of the literature, the conceptual framework of this research study was presented here, and the development of hypotheses by the conceptual framework can be described as follows. Research methodology. This research study used a quantitative research method. The sample of 216 government official or provincial administration organizations were determined by using simple random sampling based on Ontario-Yamane formula. This research study was a cross-sectional data. The control alpha was conducted to test the reliability with the control alpha coefficient of the variable presented here. And for data analysis, the research results were analyzed by using descriptive statistics presented as follows: frequency and percentage applying for description of the respondents, and the mean and standard deviation applying for levels of respondent opinion. In addition, data were analyzed by using inferential statistics as follows: Pearson product moment correlation applying for testing the relationship among variables of provincial administration organization. And finally, part analysis applying for hypothesis testing on direct and indirect effects of government policy on organizational performance through the mediating roles of public entrepreneurship. For research result, for the description of the respondent, the research finding revealed that the survey data through questionnaire survey of 216 government officials were made up of female. The average age of the government officials were in between the age of 21 to 30 years. For the respondent education, most of the government officials had earned bachelor degree. In addition, the respondents were in the position of government official with 6 to 10 years experience. Most of the government officials work for secondary provincial administration organization. And lastly, the average monthly income of the respondents is in between 10,001 to 20,000 baht. For correlation analysis, Pearson product moment correlation was used to determine the relationship of the independent variables. The objective of correlation analysis was to find the magnitude of the correlation among the variables and to test for multi-correlative problem. The research study found that the relationship between the independent variables with the highest value of 0.756, which was not exceed 0.800. Accordingly, multi-collinearity problem was not found in this relationship. Therefore, the research study can be tested by applying part analysis. This table explains the research result from hypothesis testing that the government policy and public entrepreneurship can explain the variation of organizational performance up to 57.6%. Government policy has a significantly direct effect on organizational performance with standardized coefficient of 0.655. Government policy has a significantly direct effect on public entrepreneurship with standardized coefficient of 0.756. Public entrepreneurship has a significantly direct effect on organizational performance with standardized coefficient of 0.749. Government policy has a significantly indirect effect on organizational performance through the mediating roles of public entrepreneurship with standardized coefficient of 0.566, and the total effects can be described as the standardized coefficient of 0.733 at 0.05 significant levels. For research result, the discussion and implication. Firstly, the government should essentially establish an innovative and competitive public policies to support rapidly change of entrepreneurial orientation for provincial administration organization. Secondly, the government organization should drive radical change to public entrepreneurship in order to effectively manage public resources, innovatively provide excellent public services, strategically facilitate risks, continually sustain public interest, and effectively achieve organizational performance in the long run. Thirdly, the government agency should build public capacity as the role of public entrepreneurship will be critical in continuing to support the potential of government officials in delivering the excellent public services and achieving better performance and outcome. For conclusion and future research direction, government policy are important guidelines to implement entrepreneurial activities and to enhance government organizational performance, especially for some local government organizations that planning to transform themselves into public entrepreneurship. Public entrepreneurship is favorable in promoting innovation, increasing risk-taking orientation, and boosting public organizational performance and outcome for local government organizations in Thailand. Conventional public structures of performance management are being replaced by more innovative, adaptive, and competitive public entrepreneurship in order to get the desired and effective public outcome. And here are references. And thank you for your attention.